Hello, this is Josette with another Robin's Nest video. Today we're going to make an interactive card using Robin Nest paper. The paper that we'll be using is the green shiny glitter paper, blue glitter paper, and the majority will be made using the bunny paper and the reverse stripe. And I've added a solid pink to round out this assortment. Alright, so let's talk about the card. Here is what we'll be creating. It is a flip card, and we're going to have a spinner that comes out of it. Now, Sizzix makes these dies, and you can buy a set, but I thought it would be nice to show you how to do it without purchasing the Sizzix die. Most of us have circle dies. So I've pulled a die out of my set that measures 3 inches in diameter. Now, for this instruction, I'm using the 3-inch, and all the measurements will be based on that. I encourage you to play with other shapes and other sizes. I'm just going to give you the actual formulas. Okay, this is an A2 card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I have scored it right down the center. Okay? Alright, so let's make the card. My circle die measures 3 inches. Half of that is 1 1/2. I'm going to add 1/4 inch, so 1 3/4 from the line I'm going to place a mark. Then placing my circle die slightly off of the fold. So that's partly why we added a little bit, because we were measuring from the fold and we've moved it slightly to the left away from the fold and taped it down. Now we're going to be cutting only the front part here. So I'm going to go and place it on my cutting pads and run it through, and I'll be back. Okay, so let's make sure we're all understanding what I did. So I placed my card on to my cutting pads. I placed my top plate exactly on that line, and then I ran it through in this direction so that it came onto the plate and off, as opposed to having it be this way, because if it hits this, it tends to move. By coming at it onto and off, you're more likely to have a perfect cut. Okay. So here's what we have. And as you can see, I'm almost to the line, but not quite. Then when I fold this back, and I fold this back, making sure everything stays nice and straight, and crease, my circle is not showing, the hole is not showing in the front, and I have a flip. Okay. Now, this mark is darker than what I normally would do, so mark it lightly and then erase. Okay? So that is our card base. To make the part that spirals out, you could use a die, which is what this is, or take another circle die and cut a circle, and your scissors, and trim this out into a spiral. Or to take your circle dies and tape them together, lay them on your cutting mat and cut halfway, like so. I'm going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, so when I remove, I end up with a partial. So all I have to do at this point is to complete my spiral. So go from here up to the next one. Come around, connect to the next one. And now I've created a spiral. The same can be done by taking a pair of scissors and cutting a spiral in this manner. Just be sure and leave a tab in the middle so that you have something to glue down. Okay, that's all there is to making this card. So I'm going to go away and put it back, or put it together, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I did some prepping. I cut a piece and matted it to the inside. Another circle was cut and applied, and then a greeting was stamped onto another circle die and layered, and then a cute little bunny. I colored him with Copic and added him to the front. Now the inside is the interactive part. So I took my circle piece and using an oval die cut several little ovals to imitate Easter eggs, and then I glued those all onto the spiral. Okay, so the first step is to glue it onto the base. And I find that a wet die actually works the best. And then using a glue dot, put a glue dot right in the center . Of this. Once this is glued in place, the lid is closed, and now the spiral opens. And from one direction the eggs are correct, but going the other direction they seem a bit wonky. That's easily remedied. You just add glue, additional eggs to the back side, and then you have both a front view and a back view that seems to be fairly cohesive. You can stamp, oops, my glue didn't hold. You can stamp your greeting in here. And I'll be adding another greeting up here. So I'm going to go completely finish this card, and further instructions will be available in the description and on my blog. Thank you.